going to be like the usual panel you always see.
It also starts with saying or observing the problem in the society.
A gig element into the market. Okay. The gig market or the gig economy is, let me just make it in the simplest way, is a job or service availed on demand basis. If I make it like that, is it clear? On demand basis. You don't avail something that's not demanded. I get the point. It's a job or service that is available on demand basis.
You're going to learn how to start a business by coming to the Mtindo Network. So if you do not have any vein of entrepreneurship in you, you're going to realize that when you come to such gatherings, you'll become an entrepreneur. You eventually realize that you have a problem and you're the only person who can fix it. The other thing is you also get acquainted with the diverse roles that you can perform as a gig economist. When you're in a gig economy, you realize that even picking plastics is a gig. You realize that even reaching out to people and talking to them, washing for them plates is a gig.
A gig is that if there is no contract, get out. If there is a contract, come back.
A gig shouldn't be economically driven for it to qualify to be a gig. It has so many aspects. You can be a gig person when you're not earning anything. And through that empathy and responsibility, someone will start paying you eventually. Most people start as volunteers and they end up earning money.
Now, since drawing it from yesterday's discussion that in the market there are two major players, that's a service or a good, right? We trade in services and goods. Now, the gig economy comes with the description of the labor that comes in. But the unique feature that categorizes it to be a gig has more to do with the time effect. Okay? It's a short time effect and temporary in nature. That is what outshines it to become a gig element into the market.
So is there any unique advantage that the gig economy has compared to traditional employment? And what could be that advantage or uniqueness that the gig economy is promising, so that even when the COVID-19 comes in, as he said, or any emergency comes in, they can still survive on that gig economy?
The gig economy is coming to embrace new opportunities, even when there are diverse challenges that are going to face this entire setup of the country. But remember that it is always that opportunity that will make you stand out, that is embracing research and then also investing in learning and technology. While I was teaching people to do network marketing, it was helping them to even stay home and still get calls. Because someone will go and search, and when they reach their search engine, they type the business they want to support. Yours will appear first because you know the right information to package, and then whenever someone goes on Google to search something, their business will come first and they will look for you, they will call you.
So let's grow our mind that even if I'm trying to do the small business here, in the gig economy, save and then become the investor model. So from the entrepreneur to the investor model. For you to invest doesn't mean you need to have multi-billion-dollar stuff. I'm an investor. There's a money lending business where I have my shares into it. I don't need to have 10 million to be an investor. I was an investor in a chapati stall. I was an investor in there's a saloon. You know, that is investment. That if your angle here is failing, you have some. Like on every head they cut, you have a certain percentage. So that is it, please. The gig economy is safe. He talked about going to bars and whatsoever. You don't make the gig today and hit 10 clients today and then you say, wow, I've made it, let me go and get myself some booze. No, make sure, how do you make that become more? Indians are the best example. Yesterday, Indians were used here. They are the best example of people operating the gig market. There is a statistic that was issued, and I quoted it from Mensa Watabe, who said, money lasts 7 times more in the hands of an Indian than in the hands of an African. Why? When an African gets money today, the first thing that comes in the head is to spend it. When the Indian gets the money today, the first thing that comes in mind is to grow it. Now, that's the model we have to embrace as we people in the gig market. Because you're not sure tomorrow, try your best to grow that you have today. That when tomorrow hits hard, you have that saving that you have. Thank you.
We have another aspect called flexibility. You run so many things in a gig. So that skill can only be acquired when you leave your comfortability. When you're working and earning 450, and you're comfortable with the 450, then you have a problem. Because you are saying, even Stuart has mentioned it, that the future of this country and the countries around us is not in a traditional office. We have to move out of our offices and do something that is crucial and beneficial to us.
I know you teach about this, a strong pillar in transferring information. What are the essential skills that someone needs to know to leverage this gig economy, and how can they get there?
The skills are versatile and vast, I would say vast. Because one, if you ask me about the skills I've got in the gig economy, one, I've realized that you meet different people. And what is this skill called? It's called network. Whenever you go in a place, I think, was it Arthur who talked about network? Was it you? You talked about networking. Most people who go to a place, they fear the microphone, they fear to approach people, and they fear to talk about their problems.
What is the motivation behind this? Why are young people, the trend, why is the trend of the gig economy increasing? What is the motivation behind this?
All right, thanks very much, moderator. First and foremost, I want to throw a bias onto some of the partial understanding of our gig economy. To a large extent, some people think the gig economy is only that is played around the market played by freelancers. These are stock traders in the crypto market. These are TikTok influencers, and no, the gig economy, as I tried to say, the biggest incentive in the gig economy. Even someone who is pushing their champo on the street, that is in the gig economy. You're operating in an uncertain market. And a market that you're not so much sure of what comes next tomorrow.
These young people who are doing that thing, food of today, how can they survive in case any other emergency or pandemic comes up in the gig economy?
All right, that's a very important scenario. I must say, fine, I made mention the gig economy is a market-based, though it's an uncertain market, okay? Now, we must agree that the market is disrupted by some forces, okay? Let's have a situation like, let's say, war. There's a situation that disrupts the market, okay? And when we're bringing scenarios like that, let's say, COVID is a situation that came and disrupted the market. I was in northern Uganda at a part of my life, that even if you're the road wholesaler during that LRA war, even if you're the gig economist or you're the big economist, your business could be disrupted. Now, in such a scenario, you're bringing instances where circumstances that come and disrupt the market. Now, in our earlier explanations of fashioning the market was looking at the market in its steady spectrum. Okay, that be it. In a situation where the market is disrupted, now here's the only option of you to survive in a market disrupted is relying on your savings. Okay? Now, this brings me to answering you. In this gig economy, since you're working for Marialeo, and you're not sure of Mariancha, what you get today, you compound it to try to build a sustainability of tomorrow. What am I meaning here? To a larger extent, you'll hardly hear of a professor of a university owning a company. Go to Mukwano, go to this gentleman who passed on, Mulwana. Mulwana was just a driver, and then he upgraded. And then why? Because they are trying to build certainty tomorrow. And in trying to build the certainty of tomorrow, you save the one you get today to compound it and build a spectrum for tomorrow. I don't know whether someone is getting me here. Because to a large extent, when you're talking about the gig economy, we always want to micro it and let it appear like it's the smallest unit in the economy. No, the gig economy, even I told you the parliament chambers, that's a billion contract, but it's a key. Because come time T, they'll have to hand over the contract and it's done. They will never again do the same thing forever and ever. That's a gig. Even if it's the next 10 years, you have your steady figure. Every month I have 500,000. That is not a gig economy. A gig economy is this one. You wake up, let me talk in Uganda. For you to benefit from it, you have to multitask. You have to spread your wings. Okay? You could be one entrepreneur, but you have to spread your wings to take opportunity and the most in the gig economy. I am into a gig, let me call it a gig enterprise. Okay, the CCTV tech. We're into the CCTV tech. It's a company mostly into the home security systems. I cite out only that as one of the gig enterprises we do have. And this is an economy where you can have up to 20 clients a day, and then in the next 2 months you have 0 clients. I get the point. Now here's the situation. You need to serve the 20 clients in the same period of time. Okay? Now this brings us to the beauty of the team. You need to have a team as an entrepreneur for you to benefit from the gig economy. And then now to expand. How do you expand to take the most of the gig economy? Because the gig economy is the survival for the fittest. I don't want to comfort us here that there is a sympathy that is playing out there in the market that will lift you when you're sitting. The gig economy is, according to Matthew 11:12, I want to cite that again, from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. So that is the gig economy. Basically the gig market. It doesn't answer to your titles. It doesn't answer to your privilege. It answers to what you offer on table. Now, what entrepreneurs do? We offer something on table. Thank you.
Wow. That's amazing. That has reminded me of one thing, that sometimes when they are employing you, they ask you, why should we hire you? Someone will start with, I have a bachelor's degree. But what can you do? That's the point I want to that he talked about. Which skills do you have so that you can do something valuable for that company? Well, I want to move to Raymond. Do you think that there are some solutions, because sometimes there are burnouts during the gig economy?
I cannot be in a stripping club. I cannot be anywhere. Even if they're giving me big chunks of money, I cannot be there. So set priorities, know what you want. 2, also have financial discipline. At times, most people, when they get money, they want to go visit girlfriends. And remember, tomorrow you have work. You have financial discipline. Once you get money out of this gig, plan something productive out of it. Then also to prevent burnouts, I have those healthy breaks. Plan a vacation for yourself and your team. Don't always be screwed on your work, as if they cannot unscrew you and then you go somewhere and do something. The gig economy was cited by some of the scholars in the earlier years, and now we've come to realize that it is here with us, and it is here to stay. Stewart and his colleagues in 2017 said that the economy of tomorrow is breathlessly informed by journalists that will not consist of jobs, formal traditional jobs. We shall have gigs instead. And we are saying that there will be more tasks where you work online and you get paid online. You not have to move out of your house. You not have to be like under someone who's force and care. You'll be yourself boss and yourself personality. So they're asking me, do I have a gig? Yes.
If I've picked interest in the gig economy, how can I join it? And then, you join it when you have a business or whether you have entrepreneurial skills?
Is it the under-skilled labor that these guys give us is also under a gig, or it's supposed to be like formal type of employment? Thank you very much.
How I heard you talk about digital things and other related things. But then, how can these people, instead of wasting a lot of time on TikTok, get some bit of related gig that can make them survive today and tomorrow?
Yes, I offer it. Okay, I'll not bring the bureaucracy. Now, the legal protection here comes into the agreement based. If I've been doing WhatsApp exchanges, I realize this the hard way. If you're doing WhatsApp, those are proof of implied, it's called implied something, lawyers, right? But you enter into a contract by implied something. If you agree to through our conversations on WhatsApp, you need to have records of everything you do. That's not how you formalize the element of the gig stuff, okay? And then another thing, you also have the capacity to formalize your business. Rocco is a gig player. I'm giving you Rocco. Let me tell you, Facebook itself is a gig player. It doesn't have to be small to be a gig, it doesn't have to be big to be a gig. It has to be this that offers based on demand. If you don't serve the demand, you're not paid. That is a gig.
Please educate yourself. Invest in education, continuous learning. Because for you not to burn out, you would have at least had a thorough research about what you're going into, and keep learning, because learning does not stop with you. When you have, for instance, most people when they have come into the gig economy, they become rich, they get so excited and leave books alone. I've got some books here, and I'm going to read